Hey, Kyle here. I am out for a walk with my Z5 and my 950 nanometer infrared filter. Last time I tested out this filter was kind of late into the fall, and it was also at about 3 or 4 in the afternoon when the sun was lower in the sky. I have since read that with 950 nanometers it's advisable not to bother with these filters unless you live below a certain latitude, which I'm well above. I guess it's just not enough sunlight up here. So now that we're 2 weeks away from the longest day of the year and the sun is pretty much right up overhead, I figure this is about as good as conditions are going to get for me for this filter for where I live. Last time I did this, the overall histogram bump was maybe 1/4 of the entire width of the histogram. It was a very thin sliver of light I was getting. It's actually spread out quite nicely this time around. So I had it set to +1 EV. This is auto exposure at the normal settings. So, oh yeah, that's a nice looking exposure. Lens flare seems to be a lot worse in infrared than it is in visible light, and the deeper into infrared you go, the worse that lens flare can be. So I've broken down and actually started using my lens hood. I think it actually helps. When I'm completely inside the forest canopy and no sunlight is peeking through, I'm back to that tiny, narrow little histogram of light. So yeah, this is a filter that clearly needs a ton of sunlight. Does a pretty decent job of revealing my veins through my skin. That's cool. That's not a weird infrared effect on the water, that's just gross algae and sludge. Poor ducks.